Imagine this. It is summertime, and you're enjoying your much-awaited vacation at your grandparents' place. You're playing and having the time of your life, and suddenly, a 250-pound beast like bear pounds upon you. Although this sounds like a scene right out of some fictional thriller movie, this was the reality for the 10-year-old who was gruesomely attacked by a black bear. What happened to the poor kid? How did the bear enter their house? And most importantly, did he survive the attack? Watch the video to the very end as we take you through the disturbing story of a 10-year-old being attacked by a monstrous black bear. Before we get into this terrible event, I kindly ask you to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you become a member of the Fierce Zone family. Thank you in advance. Even for a fully grown man, a bear attack is a hysteria like none other. Thus, for a child who is a fraction in terms of body weight, height, and strength, the attack spread despair and concern in the population like wildfire. The story began when the grandchild of James Butler decided to spend his summer vacation with his grandparents. The 10-year-old, who had no other intentions other than having fun and playing around, had no clue of the terror that was waiting for him at James Butler's home in Connecticut. Butler lived with his wife, Christina Anderson, at his rather fancy house, which had a trampoline in the backyard. Naturally, this was his 10-year-old grandchild's favorite spot to play. The kid's morning routine included playing in and around the trampoline every single day without fail. As the sun shined in the town of Morris in the western part of Connecticut on the 18th of October, neither James nor Christina could have ever imagined about the threat that was awaiting for their grandchild with eager, black eyes. Butler's young boy ran into the backyard that morning to play as usual. The clock struck 11 and James heard his grandchild yell. With a scream filled with unimaginable fear, the kid cried, "Bear!" James, who was in absolute disbelief of what he had just witnessed, a large black bear had entered his backyard from the thick forest behind. Bears weren't a usual sight in Morris, at least not anymore. Despite once being a popular habitat for the beast, the black bear population in Connecticut was almost demolished by the mid-1800s, according to the Environmental Protection Department. Thus, watching a bear out of nowhere in his backyard attacking his grandson was a sight that James would have never imagined. However, in recent times, bears have made a rebound. The state had a resident population of bears by the 1980s, and their numbers continue to grow. There are an estimated 1,000 to 1,200 bears in the state, according to the department. After listening to his grandchild yell, "Bear!" James, who uses a wheelchair, wheeled his chair towards his grandson to protect him. The bear pulled the child up from the ground with his leg in its mouth. The old guy was baffled when he saw his grandson's leg in the bear's mouth. With no weapon and no one around to help, what could James possibly do to save his little angel? Before we continue with this unbelievable event, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thank you in advance. I heard him yell "Bear," and when I looked up, I saw his leg in the bear's mouth and the bear trying to drag him across the lawn, Butler said to his local newspaper. However, luck was in James's favor as he saw a metal bar lying around. With no other thoughts other than defending his grandchild, the old guy in the wheelchair helplessly rolled towards the bear. He took aim and threw the metal bar right at its head. Boom! The rod hit the bear's head. Despite not causing any major injury, the bear was slightly taken aback by this attack on his head. He dropped the kid quickly in a moment of shock. The 10-year-old saw this as the perfect opportunity to escape and tried crawling away from the beast, back to safety at his house. But what follows next is sure to traumatize you. The bear, now agitated more than ever, went again and one more time to attack the kid. He grabbed the child once again, and this time with even more aggression than earlier. The poor boy, scared out of his wits, started yelling and screaming on the top of his voice, crying for help. The bear, who earlier released the kid this time, used its dangerously sharp claws to try to roll the boy onto his back, the grandfather reported. The helpless grandfather, who was in a wheelchair himself, had no other option but to yell for help and pray for some miracle to happen so that his precious grandson remained safe and alive. And a miracle did happen that day. The grandpa's prayers were finally heard. What do you think happened next? All the yelling from the butlers got a neighbor's attention as he quickly entered the backyard. The Messiah raced over with a pipe and scared the bear off by brandishing a tube and yelling, Butler said. This finally freaked out the bear for real, and the deadly beast started walking away from their house back into the forest. He dropped Butler's grandson down on the floor and started moving out of the backyard quickly. Butler, Christina, and the neighbors swiftly picked up the injured child and got him to safety inside their houses. But what happened next was absolutely unexpected. Once Butler and his grandson were safely inside the house, the bear returned one last time to visit his victims. The bear started walking up a wheelchair ramp and peered at them through a screen door. With death so close to all their eyes, the entire family watched the bear walk slowly away from them. Soon after the bear left, the child was taken to a local hospital for all of his injuries. Despite being attacked twice, luckily enough, the kid's injuries were not life-threatening. Butler said that his grandson suffered a puncture wound to one thigh, bite marks on a foot and ankle, and claw marks on his back. Officials reported that the bear that attacked a 10-year-old in Connecticut surprisingly did not have rabies. Officials, who were soon informed by the locals, then came to the crime scene where they spotted the bear in the site. For the citizens' safety, the authorities of the Connecticut Environmental Conservation Police euthanized the bear in a town of around 2,200 northwest of Waterbury around 11 a.m. State biologist Jenny Dixon said the risk of negative bear-human interactions is rapidly increasing. A major part of Connecticut's expanding bear population has influenced the species to develop a human taste for their food. The bear was researched and tested upon, which resulted in a bunch of weird yet interesting relations about the creature. A preliminary necropsy report states that the animal may have been feeding on trash cans. The report established rare pieces of macaroni in the bear's stomach, which officials said could imply that the bear had eaten garbage in the past, but not any time recently. According to the report, the male bear was found to have good nutritional body condition with adequate fat reserves. Officials said stomach contents were normal for an omnivore, containing nuts, berries, and leaves. Another indication that the attack on the human was not due to starvation or lack of food, but exposure to humans and the lack of fear among the species. Events which promote socialization among humans and bears are a major reason for the same. Deep reported that more test results are pending, including a tissue and cell analysis to look for disease not readily apparent from a visual examination. The organization also added that residents should secure trash cans and remove garbage, bird feeders, and pet food from outside homes to encourage bears to stay away. The survival of the kid is truly miraculous and an extremely rare case. What would you do if you had to face a 200-pound bear unarmed? What tactics would you use? Let's keep the discussions going in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and share it with all your friends who are scared of bears. And since you stuck with me till the end, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. And if you haven't already, I'd like to ask you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.